Okay, you guys ready? These are powers of 2. We're using our fingers to remember the power of 2. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 2,
4,
8,
8, 16, 32.
32. Now, 64,
4,
120,
120,
256,
256,
512,
512,
and 1,024.
1,024.
Now, Jason, put down that little Lego toy or that little toy, and let's see both hands. All right, we're gonna do it again, but now you watch me first, and then you'll do it. Ready? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1,024. Those fingers. Are you ready?
Yes.
2,
2,
4,
4,
8,
8, 16, 32,
64,
64,
128,
128,
256,
256,
512,
512,
1,024.
1,024.
Now remember, that's 2 to the 10th power. Eleanor, let's see those fingers. Because now that I see your beautiful video, now close those fingers. We're gonna do one hand first. Are you ready? 2, 4,
2, 4, 8,
32.
16, 32,
So do it again.
62,
2, 4,
4,
8, 16, 32. So we are doubling 5 times. Now let's do it from 32. Ready? 64, 128, 256, 512, 1,024. Now, who would like to try the first 5 on their own? Catherine, go for it.
2, 4, 8, 16, 32.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Jason, how about you? Let's see you do the first 5.
2, 4, 6.
No, we're not counting by 2. We're doubling each time. So 2, 4, 8. 2, 4.
2, 4, 8, 16, 32.
Very nice. Jason, Eleanor, it's your chance. Let's go for it.
2, 4, 8, 16, 32.
Very nice. Now, everybody close their hands. And now we're going to try for the second group of 5. Are you ready? 64, out loud. And Jason, I want to hear your voice really loudly. 64.
64.
128.
128.
256.
256.
512.
512.
And 1,024.
1,024.
Now, who wants to try to do that second group of 5? Remember, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and then who wants to do it? Jason, go for it, buddy.
6, 3, 4, 128, 266, 524, 4.
Well, 512, because 250 and 250 is 500, 6 and 6 is 12. So 512.
512.
And then what's the next one, Jason?
100, 1024.
Wow, that everybody, come on, give them a round of applause. That was awesome. Now, Eleanor or Catherine, do you want to try to do that second group? 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024?
46.
Okay, Eleanor, let's do it.
128, 256, 29, 512, 4.
Awesome, awesome. Catherine, do you want to try it now? I can write them out for you if you like. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Catherine, let's see you do it with your fingers. Remember, this is the first group of powers of 2, the first group, and I'm going to even write the word powers of 2, and the first group is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. The second group, Catherine, is 64, 128, 256, 512, and 1024. All right, go, Catherine.
64, 128, 256, 512, 1024.
Awesome. Now, Valerie. Hello, Valerie. Everybody say hi to Val.
Hi.
And Valerie, I'm actually going to rename you because you have a beautiful name. And we should call you Valerie instead of Andreas, even though he has a beautiful name too. And Valerie, can you show me with your hands the powers of 2, starting with 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. Do you want to try them first without looking at the list? Valerie, I can't hear you. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, so Valerie, when I ask you a question, you can say yes, no, or ask a question. So Valerie, would you like me to keep these numbers in front of you, or do you want to try to do them without the numbers in front of you?
Without.
Okay, let's give it a shot. Start with 2, but I need to see the fingers.
2, 4, 8, 16, 20, 24.
No, honey, it's 32. Double 16 is 32. Keep going.
32. 64.
64.
100.
Go ahead.
128. 256. 512. 1024.
Awesome. Awesome job. Really, really nice, guys. Now, I want everybody to pick up their pencil. Mary picked 5 apples and Bill picked 9. Now, the 2 children shared all of their apples evenly. How many did each child get? So do not say it out loud. Everybody make sure they write it down. Mary picked 5 apples. Bill picked 9 apples, and the children shared their apples evenly or equally. How many did each child get? So don't say it out loud. I'm going to give you another half a minute while I open a window. Okay, what did you guys get? On 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
7.
Yes, because Mary plus Bill equals 5 plus 9, which is 14 apples. And then we have to use what? What operation are we using? Are we using addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division to get 7? Who knows what?
Division.
Yes, we are using division. So 14 divided by 2, because we divided in half, we cut them equally, and 14 divided by 2 equals 7. We can also write that as 14 divided by 2 equals 7. And the way we check our work is always to say 7 times 2 equals 14. And that is really cool. Now, let's just say, and I'm going to do this again, except this time, watch what Mr. Kramer is going to do. I am going to erase the 5 and the 9, and I'm going to give you different numbers. Are you ready? So Mary, we're going to say that she picked 22 apples, and Bill picked 32 apples. Now this one's a little harder. I would write it down the same way we did it before. And I even am going to allow you to look at what we did on the last problem. And if you finish it, you should make up your own problem and see if you can figure it out. It's so much fun to do that.
English is 22.
Now, guys, does anybody have a really good question? Say, Mr. Kramer, I don't really know how to cut 54 in half, because we have to add 22 plus 32, which equals 54. That's the easy part. But now we have to take 54 and we have to cut it into 2 pieces. And one way to do that is to write it out as 54 is 40 plus 10 plus 4. Does everybody agree that 54 is 40 plus 10 plus 4?
Yes.
And remember, those are called partitions. So if you partition the number 54 and then you cut each piece in half, well, then we know that, Catherine, what is half of 40?
20,
Say it out loud.
20, 20.
Yes. And Valerie, what is half of 10?
5.
And Eleanor, what is half of 4?
2.
And Jason, if you put it all together, what do you get?
27.
And 27 is our final answer. They would each get 27. Now, I have to show you, Mr. Kramer had a really fun way of thinking about this. Do you guys agree that 32 and 22 are 10 apart? Does everybody see
Yeah.
how they are 10 away from each other?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what if I added 5 to 22 and took 5 away from 32? Then I would get 22 plus 5 is 27, and 32 take away 5 is also 27. So that's another really, really fun way to find what's called the average of two numbers. So remember that we just found out that the number 27 is the average between 22 and 32. We just say, let's add 5 and let's take away 5. Add 5 and take away 5, and we end up with 27, which is a lot of fun, a lot of fun. All right, so now I'm gonna ask you guys another question, and let's see if I can grab that. Good. And here we go. Now, this question, guys, is a little tricky. You have to list the even numbers from 10 to 20. You have to list the even numbers from 10 to 20. So go ahead and list them. And once you're finished, I want you to keep going. So if you've listed them already, keep going as high as you can go. How many numbers can you go?
List 10 to 20什么意思啊？list 10 to 20什么意思啊？
那个啥都把设置起了 even number 下出来，它叫 even number，晓得吧？就啥都设置起属于 even number 没下出来。even number 没晓得吗？那么12 even number 的，然后呢
11
？No， 你可以想，你想不晓得 even number 是什么？包括量词的。
Okay, guys. Now, there are some very, very special rules about even numbers. One of them is that even numbers can always be cut easily in half. Any even number. Now, odd numbers can be cut in half too, but not evenly. They're not divisible by 2. Even numbers also end in either, you ready for this? Say it out loud, guys.
0, 2, 4, 8.
Now, let's list the even numbers from 10 to 20. Ready, set, go.
10, 12, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20.
Wow. Now, can anybody tell me, did anybody keep going and get a really high even number? Because when I was your age, I used to fill math notebooks with even numbers. I loved even numbers so much. Did anybody go higher than 20? Did anybody go higher than 20? Jason, how high did you go?
38.
38. Oh my gosh. So 38, everybody. If we kept going, 22, 24, come on, guys. 26,
26,
28,
28,
30,
30,
32,
32,
34, 36,
36,
and
38.
38. And look at this. Every one of the numbers ends in a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And it continues on until infinity. So the answer to our question is 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And you guys did a great job. Now, the next question I'm going to ask you, how many odd numbers are there between 10 and 20? Now, odd numbers are all the numbers that are not even. So I want you guys to write them down and try to answer the question. How many are there? And odd numbers end in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. Remember, always write it down. She who writes it down becomes a great mathematician. Valerie, do you have the answer?
Yeah.
How many odd numbers are there between 10 and 20, Valerie?
5.
Wow. And Jason, can you tell me what they are?
11, 13, 15, 17, 9.
Wow. That is awesome. Now, guys, there's something very, very special about those 5 numbers. Who would like to know what is special about them? Valerie and Catherine said, and Eleanor said, they want to know what's special. Well, I'll tell you something. The number 11, 13, 17, and 19 are all called prime numbers. And the reason they are called prime numbers is because the only way to make 11 is 1 times 11. 1 times 13. 1 times 17. 1 times 19. And guess what, guys? That makes them prime. Now, who can tell me why I didn't include 15? Why is 15 not prime? And we call it composite. Jason, what do you think? Why do we call 15 not prime, but and composite?
5 times 2, 3.
Well, 5 times 2 is 10. Can you repeat that again, please?
5 times 3.
Yes. Everybody look at 15. 15 equals not only 1 times 15, but it also equals 3 times 5. Come on, count by 5. Ready, go. 5,
5,
10,
20,
and because 15 is divisible by 3 and 5, it is not a prime number, and we call it composite. Now, are any of these numbers prime? Are any of the numbers from 10 to 38, are any of those numbers prime numbers? And remember, you're just
No.
learning this for the first time.
No.
And why? Why would you say no, Jason?
2, and 11 equals 22. 2 times 12 equals 20.
Wow, Jason, it's really hard to hear you, but here's what I think you said. Valerie, I want you looking at the screen. Now, what I think Jason said is that 2 times 11 is 22. 2 times 12 is 24. Who can tell me what 10 is? 2 times what? Say it out loud.
2 times 13.
No, that would be 26 is 2 times 13. But 10 is 2 times what?
5.
Right. And what? And raise your hand if you know 2 times what equals 12. Raise your hand if you know 2 times what number. Eleanor, say it again, Eleanor. Yes. And Catherine, 14, Catherine, is 2 times what? Want to give it a try? Go for it, honey. What do you think there, kiddo?
7.
Yes. And Valerie, what about 16? 2 times what?
8.
Yes. Jason, what about 18?
2 times 9.
And everybody, let's do 2 times what is 20? Go.
10.
Yes. And if a number is divisible by 2, it cannot be prime because they are all divisible by 2. However, are there any numbers that are even that are also prime? Are any numbers even and also prime? I want you to think about that for just a second. Think about an even number that has only one factor pair, just like the numbers 1 and 11, 1 and 13, 1 times 17, 1 times 19. What even number is like that too? Go ahead, Jason.
2.
Guys, everybody write it down. The number 2 can only be 1 times itself. And that's what makes it prime. It's the only even prime number in the universe. There are no other even prime numbers. Now, let's look at the next challenge. Here we go. This first one's going to be a little easy, and then we're going to make it more challenging. Here we go. So the question is, find the difference of 75 and 90. Now, believe it or not, it's a tricky question. There's a lot of different ways to think about that question. All right. Now, who wants to give me their first answer? And then maybe there are other answers to this question. Who thinks they have an idea? I only see one hand up, but I'd like to know if other people have some ideas. Eleanor, why don't you give me your first idea?
15.
15. Excellent. Jason, do you have any different ideas?
1 is
And Jason, you're going to have to really speak up. You're going to have to kind of like
1 is odd. 1 is even.
Which of these numbers is odd, Jason?
17. 5.
And which one is even?
9. 90.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Catherine, did you also get 15?
Yeah.
And how about you, Valerie?
Yes.
Now, guys, notice how 90 take away 75 equals 15. Why? Because 15 plus 75 equals what, everybody?
90.
Yeah, Valerie, check this out. Look at how we can turn subtraction into addition. But the reason why I thought this was a tricky question is because you really wanted it to ask you for what's called the positive difference. The positive difference is 15. But let me ask you a strange question. Would you like to hear a strange question about this? What if you did 75 take away 90? So instead of taking the smaller number away from the bigger number, we take the bigger number away from the smaller number. Any ideas? Eleanor and then Jason, go for it.
-15.
Whoa. Jason, did you get the same
Negative.
thing?
Negative.
Yeah. Now watch this. Catherine, ready? Catherine, what is 5 minus 2?
3.
And this is only for Catherine, what is 2 minus 5?
3.
Think about it. I've got the smaller number and I'm taking away the bigger number. So the answer is not 3, but it's what?
Negative.
3.
3.
So guys, look at this number line. And let's look at what really happens here. If I were to have the number 5 take away 2, everybody, let's do that. Ready? 5 take away 2 gives me what? 3. But what if I do, you ready for this? 2 take away 5. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Catherine, do you understand now why 2 take away 5 is -3?
No.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Catherine, if I were to start with the number 2, do you see the number 2 right here?
Yeah.
And if I take away, Valerie, what direction do I go? To the right or the left? Valerie?
Go to the left.
Yes. So Catherine, if I'm doing subtraction and I start with 5 and take away 2, I end up at 3. But if I start with 2 and take away 5, where do I end up?
3.
It's called -3. Can we say -3?
-3.
Yes. So we're going to do a lot more with negative numbers. Not right now, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a preview of what we're going to be doing because negative numbers are so much fun. Okay, the next challenge is coming. And you know what? Yeah, do it that way. And whoops. I think I caught it. I did. And there we go. Okay, everybody look at this question. I'm gonna read it out loud. Valerie, I want you to really focus on the computer, on the screen. Ed had saved $16. Then his grandma gave him $10. Now, how much more does he need in order to buy a tool set for $32? So here's Ed. He has $16. His grandma gave him 10 more, but he needs $32. I will loan him the money, but you have to tell me how much. So write it down. Start with Ed. So this is Ed. This is grandma. This is more money. And this is his tool set. So if Ed started with 16 and grandma gave him 10, how much more does he need? Valerie, go.
6.
And Jason, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Excellent. How about you, Catherine?
Yes.
Because Eleanor, tell me what is 26 plus 6?
32.
That is correct. It is 32. Very, very nice job. Now, let's do the same thing, except this time, we're going to change the numbers. So I'm going to take away the 16. I'm going to take away the 10 and the 32. And I'm going to replace it with Ed had saved $25. Then grandma gave him an extra $30. But now he has to buy the tool set, which costs $100. How much more does he need? So why don't you guys see what you can come up with? And I'm going to show you to remind you that we did Edward plus grandma plus more money, and now it equals 100. 25. Grandma gave him 30. He needs 100. And who thinks that they know? All right, here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
4, 3, 5.
Wait a minute. That looks like a really good number. Eleanor, look up here. Let's try it. 25 plus 30 plus 45. And let's do it, guys. What is 5 plus 5, everybody? Go.
10. 10.
So we say, put down a 0, carry the 1 for 10. And then 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is?
10. 10.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly 100. Awesome. Awesome job. You know, I think he's got a very nice grandma to give him $30. I just don't know why he would buy a tool set for $100. That seems kind of expensive. Okay, let's go to the next problem. And now, I want everybody to write down all 3 of these. So 82, don't say it out loud, plus what number equals 90? 13 plus what number equals 21? And 90 take away what number equals 83? And if you finish, I've got something else I'm going to put on the same screen for you. So if you finish, start working on the problems, the 6 problems below. Catherine, can you give me the answer to the first problem, 9A? Okay. Catherine, I'm sorry, honey, you were frozen there. Can you give me the answer to this first one? Catherine, if you can hear me, honey, give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. So Catherine, do you know the answer to the first problem? If you don't, that's okay. But I wanted to just know if you did. You have to answer me yes or no. And then if it's yes, what is your answer?
8.
8. That is a great job because we know that 2 plus 8 equals 10. So 82 plus 8 must equal the next 10, which is 90. Eleanor, can you give me the answer to part B of number 9?
8.
It's also 8. So that's really cool because we know that 3 plus 8 equals 11. So 10 plus 3 plus 8 must equal 21. And Valerie, part C. Valerie, are you working on these, honey?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Can you do part C, please? Okay, we'll come back to you. Jason, can you do part A from the next one?
Plus 8 equals 67.
And can you explain to me how you did that?
62 plus 8 equals
No, Jason, how did you get 67 when you did that? How did you get 67, my friend? What did you do?
Plus 1 equals 60 plus 4 equals
So if 59 plus 1 equals 60, and then how much
60
more did you add to
plus
60?
7 equals 16. 7.
Awesome, Jason. And Valerie, did you end up doing this problem that I asked you to do?
Yeah.
And what'd you get, Valerie?
7.
Great. And Valerie, do you notice that if 90 minus 7 equals 83, then what is 83 plus 7?
90.
Of course. Beautiful job. Catherine, can you give me this one here? 62 plus 8.
70.
Wow. Nice job. And Catherine, look at that 2 plus 8, which equals 10. Beautiful job. Eleanor, 52 plus 40.
92.
Wow. Nice job. Jason, 45 plus 9.
55.
Did you say 50 what, honey?
55.
Well,
55.
45 plus 10 equals 55. But what about 45 plus 9? One less.
54.
Right.
54.
Very, very good. Now, I was going to ask Valerie for the next one, but she has disappeared. So who can do 76 take away 50? Catherine?
26.
Wow. That must mean that 26 plus 50 equals 76. Oh my gosh. Now, Eleanor, do you by any chance know the last one?
Yes.
Go for it.
31.
Wow. And if that's 31, Valerie, 31 plus 23 must equal what number?
54. 54.
Wow. Now, the last thing I want to ask you guys is this. If smiley face minus frowny face equals silly face, then what can we do as a plus? What can we add and what can you create here? So we have smiley, frowny, and silly. So Go for it, Jason.
Smiley equals funny plus silly.
So smiley equals frowny plus silly. And it doesn't matter. We don't even need numbers. Subtraction can always be turned into addition, and addition can always be turned into subtraction. Now, let's take a vote. Who likes addition the best and who likes subtraction the best? So raise your hand for addition. We have 1, 2, 3. Now, Valerie has an answer. What is your favorite? Who wants to choose subtraction? 1, 2. Valerie, you have not made a choice. What's your favorite, Valerie? Which one?
Addition.
Addition. And Catherine, yours is addition too?
Yeah.
But Eleanor and Jason also like subtraction. And Mr. Kramer loves subtraction and addition. So I hope that we can have so much fun with both of them in the weeks to come. All right, you silly faces. I will see you in a week. Say goodbye to your friends and say hello to Stella because she'll be watching
Thank
you
you.
later.
Bye. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. I'll miss you.
Bye.
See ya.